I know that there's 1,000 videos out there in regards to disassemble and reassemble 1911, but I'm just gonna do mine anyway. First thing first, we have to make sure that the firearm is clear. Nothing is in the barrel. As you can see, there's nothing in the barrel, and there's nothing in the magazine well. Right? Wave our hand. You can see our hand through the magazine well. Alright, first thing first that we have to do is we have to allow the slide to go forward. Once the slide goes forward, we just go ahead and lock it. Once it's locked, our first thing that we have to do here is we have to push down on this button right here. I don't know what it's called, but you have to push it down. Once you push that, you're gonna click this clockwise. Be careful turning it because the tension of the spring can, like fly across the room or, fly, hit you in the face, hurt you. Right? We have to pay attention to this spring when we're putting it back together. The top of the spring, which is right here. The top of the spring, which is right here, we're gonna make sure that this part is at the top. So we can go ahead, set that up like this, set up ourselves for success. Put our plug back, place that down right there. Second thing that we want to do is we want to move the slide all the way back to this little groove right here. So once we move our slide back to that little groove right here, we're going to turn the firearm this way, and we want to push onto this button here. Once you push on that button right there, it's supposed to easily come out. Just like this. Place that down. Set up ourselves for success. Once we do that, then the slide should just move forward. Oh, before we get that, sorry, my bad. We got to turn this counterclockwise or try to take it off. Okay, it's a little bit tight, especially if you're doing this for the first time. It can be a little bit tight. Take it off just like this. Seeing that? Place that down right here. Set up ourselves for success. Now we can have our slide move forward. Once our slide is off, you can see that the barrel will just slide right out. We want to make sure we pay close attention to this ring here. You want to always have that ring forward when assembling, so the barrel will just slide right out. And this is your guide rod. Right? Now, the firearm is disassembled. Cleaning, you know how to do that. Oil these moving parts right here. Oil these moving parts right here. We already cleaned this firearm, so we're just gonna show you how to put it back together. Now, to put it back together, same thing. We just in a reverse. Sorry, I have my cloth right here. I use this to clean just now. I'm gonna make sure that this firearm is nice and shiny. I don't shoot it that much. I just keep it for like a show pistol, basically. That's forward. We're gonna slide it right back inside. Again, like I said, you want to make sure that the ring is forward, facing that way. Then you want to put your guide rod in. You want to make sure your guide rod in just the way it was. Right? Now that we have that, now we're gonna slide. I do it this way because I find it that once I do it this way, we can have this ring stay forward at all times. So I put it just like that. Right? And be careful with that little groove at the back. Here goes all the way in. Push all the way forward, and then I turn it around. Once I turn it around, I want to make sure that it's lined up just the way it was before, and that little ring that we're looking through here, we want to make sure that we're seeing that. So you go ahead and play with it a little bit to make sure it's forward, and we pull that a little bit, push that a little bit to make sure that it's lined up, fully lined up with this. Good. And we're gonna put it back down here. Good. Just like that. Then you take our slide stop right here and we push it in. Now when you're pushing this in, right, we want to make sure that this part here is below the slide itself. Now some people, they put it all the way in like this and then push it all the way in, and that's where you're going to get a lot of scratches right here. But if you want to have this firearm in an immaculate condition, just try to put it right above, just like that. What I do is that I use this flathead screwdriver and I go under it just to make sure that it doesn't scratch the firearm itself. So I'm gonna put my thing just like that, and boom, slide it in. Make sure the groove is in groove, and then push it right in. This can be a little bit tricky, but just make sure that you're doing the right thing. Just a little bit. If that doesn't work, then all you have to do is just try to take it out. With me, I use this flathead screwdriver. You can use a longer one if you want. Let's try to pry it up a little bit. Just like that. And try not to use too much force. Try to do this again one more time. Make sure that all the stuff is lined up properly, like here. Just like that. The slide is all the way to the groove, and then push down. Push this pin in a little bit. And boom, right in there, just like that. So it's all lined up right now. Then, like, again, put our guide rod in, or a recoil spring in. Just be careful, like I said, make sure that this point is up. This part is up at the top. Put your cap on, push down, and just be careful because the tension on it. As a matter of fact, let me just revamp on that. Before we get to that part, we want to make sure we put this part in. First, you got to put it in like anti-clockwise. Just like that. Then turn it clockwise. Then put our spring in. That one goes in first. And then this one goes after it. Right over it, just like that. Then put your cap in. Put your cap on top, and then push down and push it right down with enough equal amount of force. Push down, push in, push down, then turn your groove back all the way, just like that. The firearm is assembled now. You want to make sure you run the firearm for functioning right. Lock, good, clean, nice, everything is running good. And that's all we disassemble and reassemble a 1911.